Good evening, Bronco Nation, and welcome back to another edition of Bronco Nation Live, your home for everything Boise State athletics. I'm Nick Wade, joined as always by my co-host, Sam Gillette of Sam Talk Sports. And tonight we've got a packed show, highlighted by a major commitment for Boise State men's basketball. If you're watching on YouTube, hop in the chat with your questions and hot takes, and we'll work them into the show. So let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll open the night with a Bronco Talk, a live Bronco Talk at that, with Boise State's newest basketball commit, Damari Wheeler-Thomas, who I think we can agree is probably going to be the Ashton Genty of the basketball court next year, hopefully. But he's a transfer out of North Dakota State and one of the most productive guards in the Summit League this past season. We'll dive deep into Damari's game, his role at North Dakota State, and what he brings to Boise State. Then after a commercial break, we'll get you caught up on everything happening around Bronco athletics.
But before we bring Damari on, I want to start by saying this. Throughout this season, I've had the chance to cover the Summit League extensively in our Bourbon Beer and Basketball show with Sam. And I want to take a moment to correct something that has been circulated locally. Damari Wheeler-Thomas was labeled by some, including some local media, as a combo guard. With just a little research and a closer look at the film, it's very clear that Damari is a point guard, a guard you run your offense through. And tonight we're going to make sure Damari's game is properly represented. Damari comes to Boise State from North Dakota State, one of the most consistent programs in the Summit League. Last season, he was among the league leaders in minutes played, assists, and usage, while also carrying a significant scoring load, leading the Bison to regular season and tournament championships. He wasn't just a contributor, he was the engine. Based on his scoring, assists, totals, and on-ball responsibilities, Damari directly accounted for roughly 40 to 45% of North Dakota State's offensive output when factoring points scored and points created off assists. That's a true point guard. Damari, welcome to Bronco Nation Live.
What's up, man? Appreciate you guys for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you. Damari, first off, welcome to Boise State. What stood out to you about Boise during your recruiting process?
I'd say just when I came on the visit, the family vibe I got, it was the same thing I got here when I came on the visit. So I felt like there was no need to visit nowhere else. You know what I mean? So we got it done.
And I do have some good news for you. Although Boise is kind of cold during the winter, it's nothing like Fargo or North Dakota. I know we talked before the show, and I spent some time in North Dakota. And it's not even like that. I mean, the summer over there seems like it's only like 2 weeks, but here you get a full spring and summer. So I think you'll like it here, my man.
No, I heard all about it.
When you look back at your time at North Dakota State this last season, it was a tight race as I was covering that league up until the last few weeks. It was tight between North Dakota State, North Dakota, and St. Thomas. How did playing in the Summit League prepare you for this next step?
I'd say playing the Summit League, maybe not as a whole, might have did that, which is why I think it was good that we saw Michigan State that first game, you know what I mean? And I was able to do what I did in the second half. You know what I mean? Because it's a big difference, you feel me? And that you can obviously see it's a big difference when we went out there and played against those guys. But it was good for me to see that I'm, at the level and compete with that level on a day-to-day basis. So it was just a good outing.
And from your perspective, how would you describe your game to Bronco fans who haven't watched you yet? I mean, I've had the blessing to cover you all season. So how would you describe your game?
Yeah, definitely a 3-level scorer who facilitates the game as well, create for others off the bounce, you know what I mean, and can get to my spots to create other shots within myself. And then obviously the biggest thing is defense. At my size, you got to be able to guard on and off the ball.
And did you enjoy the tournament atmosphere against Michigan State?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. It felt different going into the game too, because it's national televised, stuff like that, and we're playing against a top team in the country as well. So we knew it was going to be a big outing, and we brought the energy.
Yeah, you talking about that Michigan State game, 16 points, 5 from 11 from the field, 2 from 6 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Really solid performance, and you're the third leading scorer of that game behind Cooper and Carr off of Michigan. So 16 points, that's no slouch, especially against the Tom Izzo team.
Yeah, no, 100%. That team was definitely really good, and I could see them going to the Final Four with ease. You know what I mean? With the athleticism they got over there.
Yeah. So you were asked to carry a heavy load offensively at North Dakota State. How did that responsibility shape you as a leader?
I think it definitely helped me lead on and off the court because, for one, I was coming off ball a little more than usual because of my shooting ability from 3, so we ended up making it work, you know what I mean? And when I didn't come off the ball, I just had the straight PG role just like I normally would. And I think the guys looked up to me because of my confidence, you know what I mean? And I ended up always being in everybody's ear, trying to give them confidence as well, and I think that really uplifted us throughout the season.
When you watch your own film, what do you feel is most misunderstood about your game?
Yeah, that's a great question. Hold on. Give me 1 second about that.
Well, while you think about that, I will say this, Bronco Nation, if you have any questions for Damari, go ahead and throw them in the comment section, and we'll ask him before he jets out of here a little bit later on.
I'd probably say I might have to say, probably, you know how some coaches are ask you what you're best at, and rank it. My thing was always me getting downhill is my best ability. You know what I mean? Because I'm quick, normally faster than everybody. But recently, my assistant coach was like, bro, your 3-point shooter might be you know what I mean? Because of the way it looked this year. But I say that's the only one, you know what I mean? Because I definitely feel like getting downhill is still my biggest thing, you know what I mean? But others might be like, don't let them shoot the 3, run them off the line, you know what I mean? So that's probably the only thing.
Yeah. And really, I mean, Boise State's known for their 3-point shooting. So having a guard that can get downfield or down court, I should say, to do that driving is probably going to be a really unique feel for the fans next year, just because they're so used to having those pick and pop guards that take down the threes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we do have a history of guards thriving in this system. What excites you about fitting into it?
I definitely think it's a unique thing because obviously with any guard they bring in, they kind of tailor it to the players. You know what I mean? It's not the same exact thing every time. So I think that's what makes it different because some programs have a system set. No matter who comes in, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? And I feel like with this staff, it's just not that. You know what I mean? I think that could bring the best out of me when it comes to stuff like that.
Is there anyone that you're modeling your game after, or is it just Damari's game?
I mean, I definitely say it's definitely just Damari's game, but I like to watch a lot of Peyton Pritchard. You know what I mean? I like to watch him and Davion Mitchell on the Heat. He's a two-way player. I think those two are some big ones that I watch.
Are you comfortable with the pressure? So if you got the ball in your hands and there's 3 seconds left, we saw that in the UConn game with Mullins hitting something like that. Are you comfortable with taking the helm and taking the lead on something like that?
Of course, man. Especially with me being little, I can get to little spots. I can get the spots quick. You know what I mean? That's really like extra ability. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely say yeah.
Awesome.
What kind of words do you have for Boozer at this point?
Hey, they always trying to blame him whole time. Like three of them could have held the ball. So I say they all to blame.
But seriously, what does being a true point guard mean to you at this stage of your career?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely something bigger than just the on-court stuff. Got to be a leader on and off the court, and I think that's probably the biggest thing. Always rallying the guys, always being there for the guys and stuff like that. But it's probably about it.
And then, how do you balance scoring with getting teammates involved? Being as though that you did carry about 40 to 45% of the offense output at North Dakota State.
That's probably the easiest thing because with the ability I have off the bounce, if I go past my man and somebody steps up, the quick read is the person. You know what I mean? It's little stuff like that. It's that simple when you're somebody that can get in the paint off the bounce. So little stuff like that is probably the easiest thing.
And I know you've had a lot of success, Damari, but are there any areas that you want to focus on to improve during this offseason?
Oh, definitely my finishing around the rim. You know what I mean? Especially with more size that I'll be playing against, to get my floater right and stuff like that. And then I feel like my off-ball defense definitely could always get better. I need to figure out what we're doing defensively, stuff like that, because every team is different when it comes to defensive stuff. But, yeah, I'll get accustomed to everything and we'll go from there.
How is there any kind of a culture shock? I know you said you pretty much went from one family to another family, and that's why you chose Boise State. But is there any kind of culture shock that or maybe not shock, but just something you're looking forward to in this move for playing at Boise State over North Dakota State?
I'd say definitely just an elevation of my play. You know what I mean? I feel like Coach Rice is a really big players coach. You know what I mean? And he installs confidence into the players. I talked to a couple other PGs that came right before me, and, they would say the same thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a great fit for me as a player and me as a person. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I, needed to come to a situation like this.
Taking on Gonzaga twice a year probably helps too, right?
No, I wasn't even thinking of that.
All right. Well, let's have a little fun now. Let's get into some rapid fire questions. We're just going to run through them. There's a handful here that we'll get through. If you're not sure, just say aye. Let's go to the next one. Otherwise, we'll run through these and answer them as quick as you can and as genuine as you can.
Gotcha.
What's your favorite warm-up song?
Probably anything by NBA Youngboy.
All right. Now, this one, you're still kind of new to Boise, but we'll see if you got one yet. Do you have a favorite Boise restaurant?
I don't, but I like Wingstop, so I'll just say Wingstop.
All right. There we go. Does pineapple go on pizza?
No, it don't.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, former Boise State Bronco, Stanley or Owala?
Neither.
All right. Yeti or Arctic?
Neither.
All right. Do you have a water bottle brand?
Nope.
All right. Plastic. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude.
Fry sauce or ketchup?
You said hot sauce or ketchup?
Fry sauce.
No, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to go ketchup.
You'll learn it. You'll learn it in Boise. Your favorite non-basketball sport to watch?
Ooh. Football. I'll go football.
All right. Snow or beaches?
Snow.
All right. Your favorite venue that you've played in that's not your home venue?
Kansas.
And finally, if you're stuck on an island, what 3 items are you bringing?
Oof. Food, a blanket, and phone. I'll say food, blanket, phone.
All right. A lot of people, and there's only been 2 or 3 that have said a phone. Like, yeah, let's call for help. So we had someone say a house once. So,
Man,
They like that solitude, man. They're
Yeah.
good. They're good being on the island alone, man. Just a couple more questions. I saw on one of your promos you got the number 10. Are you going to rock that next season?
yeah, I'm gonna rock number 10. That's what I always wore in college and in high school. I really wanted one, but Brody got one, and I was like, "There's no way I'm about to pay bro to try to get one from him." So I was like, "I'll just try to get 10 if they got 10 for me."
And then, I saw some reports that, there are several teams interested in you, like High Point, Cincinnati, West Virginia. I always ask our guests before we wrap it up, you chose the Boise State Broncos, and, we're blessed for that. Thank you so much. What's your message to Bronco Nation, and what's next for you?
One, it's definitely a blessing to even be here. You know what I mean? Thank God, and I appreciate all that stuff, and I appreciate the love that everybody's bringing towards me, sending me a lot of messages and stuff like that. But I'm just ready to go, and I'm ready for us to get wins, man. That's pretty much all it is.
Yep. And you're a proven winner too, taking
Yes,
North
sir.
Dakota State to double bands with the regular season and the conference tournament. So we're excited to see you on the court. That's for sure.
Appreciate you, man. I'm excited to be here as well, man.
Well, that's Damari Wheeler-Thomas, Boise State's newest Bronco. We'll step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll run through everything happening across Bronco athletics. Thank you, Damari.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man. Y'all have a good one.
When it comes to painting, precision matters. Crosby Custom Coatings, led by Scott Crosby since 1979, delivers elite craftsmanship for homes and businesses across Boise. With attention to detail and a commitment to excellence, they make every surface shine. Call Crosby Custom Coating today at 208-370-4696 and bring color and quality to your world. That's 208-370-4696.
Man, that was awesome.
It always gets that. That's my son, so I can laugh at it. Doing that voiceover always gets me when it says 4696. Like you forgot how to say a phone number.
I like it, man. I think it's a catchy. I think it hooks.
Make that into a song or something.
And Damari is awesome. I really enjoyed that discussion with him, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some softball. Boise State softball is 20-23 overall with a 6-8 Mountain West conference record. They continue to grind through Mountain West play, highlighted by a tough home series against New Mexico last weekend. They got swept, unfortunately, before bouncing back on the road yesterday. The Broncos came back and they responded in Logan, Utah against Utah State with a dominating doubleheader sweep, 11-6 in game 1, 13-2 in game 2 of Utah State, powered by an unforgettable performance by Marissa Gonzalez, who blasted 3 home runs, drove in 7 runs, and collected 4 extra base hits on the day. That's a day, man.
Yeah.
That's some pretty good production. The Broncos hit 6 home runs across the doubleheader and now head into a 2-game series against nationally ranked number 25 Grand Canyon tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But yeah, they continued that same trend. It gets into the 5th inning and they just pour it on. That 11-6 score in the first game isn't really quite what it appears. Coach Schultz made a pitching change right around the 4th or 5th inning, and it didn't go as he had planned it. So there was a few runs that were tacked on, but otherwise they probably would have won that 11-2. But they're we've been talking about them all season. They're young, they're a young squad, a lot of turnover. Would love to see yesterday become a trend. They've taken down 2 top 15 teams this year. Would really love to see them take it to Grand Canyon in this weekend series starting tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. The men's tennis, my screen would stop jumping around. They continue to make noise nationally, checking in number 61 in the ITA rankings. Highest ranked Mountain West program by far. Maybe not by far, but we can exaggerate a little on this show, right? They just had a battle with San Diego State, ultimately falling 4-3 in a match that saw every single contest go to a 3rd set. 2 very evenly matched teams, probably going to end up being the Mountain West Conference Championship between these 2. Stuart Aronson, Philip Soderquist, and Lucas Velick each picked up key single wins, while Aronson and Soderquist remain one of the most consistent double pairs in the conference. Up next, Boise State heads to Logan to take on first place Utah State in a massive conference showdown.
And in women's tennis, Boise State's team is rolling. The Broncos picked up back-to-back 4-game sweeps over a 4-game sweep over San Jose State and Fresno, and proving to 153 overall and 71 in Mountain West play. Allison Isaacs continues her incredible run at the number 4 spot, extending her win streak to 13 matches, while our gal Zadina Safarova remains a steady presence. And fans can check her out in our recent Bronco Talk episode. It's now live on Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel.
Yeah, she was fun to talk to too.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun when you get people with different accents, because then you get to hear the different accents of the world, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
A massive moment for the Boise State golf, as Cole Rook, I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but until I'm corrected, that's what I'm going to say.
I think it's Rueck.
Rueck. All right. He finished second at the PGA Tour America's Qualifying School, earning full exemption for the 2026 season. Only amateur in the field to do so. Giving me the other Boise State golfer that's in the PGA, name slipping my mind right now, but
Merritt.
Really giving Merritt, yeah, giving me Merritt vibes right now. The Broncos also finished third at the UC Santa Barbara Intercollegiate, with Rueck recording his 7th top 10 finish of the season. On the women's side, Boise State dominated the State of Idaho match, then wrapped up the regular season at the Cowgirl Classic. Leah Chung led the way with another top 25 finish, as the Broncos now turn their attention to the Mountain West Championships.
And then you got beach volleyball. Boise State beach volleyball continues to turn Boise into one of the toughest home courts in the country. The Broncos are 13-11 and 2-1 in Big 12 play. They went undefeated at the Boise State Beach Classic, extending their home winning streak to, get this, 24 matches, and that helped them move up to number 19 nationally. Key performances came from pairs including our gals Serena Vandermeid, Ava Anderson, Addison Walden, and then Allison Alden, all of whom you can hear more from in our recent Bronco Talk episodes. Those are also available on the BNU YouTube channel. The Broncos close out their home slate against South Florida, FIU, number 11, Grand Canyon, and UW this weekend at the Boise State Beach Bash. So make sure you guys come tomorrow, 1 o'clock. I think the next one is at 4:30, but Coach Ferlardo says that if you come at 1, then usually the games are delayed. So just go have fun, watch some beach volleyball here in Boise, Idaho. But anyway, that starts at 1 p.m. Mountain time, and then you'll see the Grand Canyon and UW matches on Saturday.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to a beach volleyball match, go. They're fun. I mean, those ladies put in a lot of work, and if you think that, it's just volleyball, you go try and run around in sand and do that.
Be probably a good workout, man.
Right? But I had the pleasure of going and watching them over in Fort Worth a couple weeks ago, and it's fun. I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did. And take the kids too. My kids range from 9, 10 years old down to 2 years old, and yeah, they all had fun watching it. So even in the cold and the rain. But on to track and field. Boise State opened the outdoor season with 5 event titles across 3 meets. Alex Thompson highlighted the weekend by setting a program record in the 5,000 meter, while Raekwon Weatherspoon earned Mountain West Field Athlete of the Week honors after posting one of the top long jump marks in the nation. The Broncos split competition this week between Texas A&M and the NNU Open in Nampa.
Also, if I remember right, I think I saw a graphic. Our guy Chase Lawyer, part of the relay team, they posted a time that's second in program history. So congratulations to them. Awesome.
Yes, and you give me like 2 clicks of a half a second, we do have some nationally ranked programs. I should have had it pulled up earlier, and I, for whatever reason, decided not to. Hold on.
Well, just let me revisit Cole Rueck. He right off the wire, right before the show, Mountain West honored him with Golfer of the Week for that PGA achievement that he got, and then also the women's and men's tennis programs are ranked, I think, 51 and 44 in the other poll. So they're nationally ranked. I mean,
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Right there. Nope. Dang it. Oh, man. There it is. That's the one I'm looking for. So the 5,000 meter squad is ranked 7. The long jump squad is also ranked 7. The women's long jump, the women's 5,000 meter squad is ranked 8, and the women's hammer squad is ranked number 22. Those are national NCAA rankings.
Dang, man, Coach Green is doing awesome, and so are our student athletes.
Yep.
All right. In women's basketball, we had future Hall of Famer Natalie Pasco. She was on the national stage. She finished 5th in the women's 3-point championship at the State Farm College Basketball Championships in Indianapolis. And she was representing Boise State alongside the nation's best shooters. It doesn't surprise me she was top 5. She's one of the reasons why she is a future Hall of Famer is she's right there at the top in several categories in school records. So, and then you also had last weekend, Tatum Thompson was in Phoenix in a kind of a combine for women basketball player who the next step is in the WNBA. I think her game is perfect for that league. I hope that she showed out. I'm sure she did, and looking forward to seeing what's next for her.
It'd be cool if she plays along Caitlin Clark, and
that would be awesome, man.
Championship.
Heck yeah.
Well, we have esports coming up to you. They are getting ready for the PEC National Championships in Las Vegas as we speak. They've earned the number 1 seed in Valorant over Ohio State, which if you watched any of the Valorant teams playing Ohio State, both in the fall and in the spring, that's probably going to end up being your national championship match there. That was one of the funnest matches I've seen. And granted, I'm fairly early in watching esports, but if they're like that, it's an exciting match to watch. Check out the PEC Twitch channel for the games. Let me get you the exact channel. Is Power Esports Conference. There you go. Go to twitch.tv/Power Esports Conference. And if the match isn't on the Power Esports Conference Twitch, it'll be on the Boise State Twitch at twitch.com/Boise State. So get out there and watch those and support. Fans can check out our Bronco Talks with Jenny Daydream Cummins, Austin Prestige Julian, and Carter Lyric Jones. And we have an exclusive Bronco Talk coverage with Coach Doc Haskell coming up after the show. We actually are interviewing him within the hour. So that's going to be a fun, all-exclusive interview with Coach. No one else is getting that one. So we're excited to see that. But they're the number 2 seed in Overwatch and Rocket League, and a program best 5 seed in Super Smash Brothers. They've had their best season to date so far in that. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Bronco Nation Live. A special thanks to new Bronco Damari Wheeler Thomas for coming on.
Thank you, Bronco Nation, for tuning in for the show. It's a privilege for us to serve you in this capacity. Please go subscribe to the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel and for all your Boise State updates and recruiting news. We'll see you next time. Take care. Go Broncos.
Community matters, and Blue Elevation proves it. Partnering with Boise State athletes, we bring joy to families in need. Like our Christmas on the Blue Outreach, blessing children from the Boise Rescue Mission. Together with Bronco Nation, we spread cheer, hope, and support at home and abroad. Blue Elevation, where community and compassion meet. Give at bronconationupdates.com/become.